Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to Randomly Random. I am Bwame, your internet bestie. Today we're watching and reacting to a horror thriller titled Look Away. The plot: a girl is always bullied by her classmates, but her bullies do not know that she is the sister of the devil. Grab your snacks and let's get into it.
Welcome back to Fox Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Look Away, released in the year 2018. At the beginning of the movie, we are shown a sonogram of two babies sharing a womb. The scene abruptly changes to 17-year-old Maria Brennan getting ready for school. She is extremely shy and socially awkward. Because of her personality, she is often bullied by a classmate named Mark. Maria's only friend is Lily, who often ignores her when they are in a group setting. Suffice it to say that Maria's school life isn't ideal. One day at school, she and Lily are watching the ice hockey team play from the sidelines. Lily interrupts the practice and starts making out with her boyfriend Sean. Maria watches them in jealousy, having had a crush on Sean for a long time. At home, she has dinner with her parents Dan and Amy. Dan is a philandering plastic surgeon and an obsessive perfectionist. He has always had control over Maria's life and is partly the reason for her social anxiety. Her mother, Amy, is always trying to do the best for Maria, but she too suffers from depression and anxiety because of her husband's constant verbal abuse. Amy tries to set Maria up with a boy for the upcoming prom, but Maria refuses to listen and storms off to her room. On her way,
Guys, just a few minutes in, do you realize that her school looks like some clinic? And look at her home. Their home looks like some therapist office. I don't know. Everything just looks spotless. But yeah, maybe it's because of her dad. So yeah, let's continue. But in the beginning, there were two babies shown in the sonogram. So where's the other one anyway? Let's find out.
She overhears Dan talking about how much of a failure she is. She cries, clearly hurt by her father's words. Later, she finds a sonogram of a pair of twins hidden behind the mirror in her parents' room. After looking at the picture, she goes to shower and notices her reflection in the mirror moving on its own. Terrified, she runs out of the bathroom. During breakfast, she tries telling Dan about the incident, but he interrupts her and comments on how bad she looks. At school, Lily gets busy with Sean and ignores Maria as usual.
This dad is one of those people I can't stand in life. But guys, did you see the number of stairs in her home? Why would you want to live in a home with so many stairs? Like, huh? Did you see that spiraling stairs? I don't know what it's called. Is it called the spiral stairs? Did you see that? Let's go back. Let's go back because what? Guys, do you see this? How many stairs do you need in your home? How many? I promise, I will feel so nauseated before I even got to my room. Because why do you have so many stairs in your home? I mean, this is not an office. Do they have elevators in their home at least? Because what? All this in a home? Why? Is this a museum? Or what, an art gallery? Like what? That's just by the way. Let's jump back into it.
Terrified, she runs out of the bathroom. During breakfast, she tries telling Dan about the incident, but he interrupts her and comments on how bad she looks. At school, Lily gets busy with Sean and ignores Maria as usual. When she isn't looking, Mark makes her trip and fall to the floor. Everyone laughs at her except for Sean, who helps her up. He makes sure she is okay and even calls Mark out for his behavior. That night, Maria hears someone calling her name from the bathroom.
I have never understood how silly people can be. Like, that somebody will be bullied or pushed down and then people will be laughing instead of helping the person. Like, I have never understood that logic. Never. Because as proper human beings who have a proper functioning thinking mind, when you see somebody being bullied or somebody being treated unfairly, isn't your first instinct to sort of step in or help the person? Like, why do you stand there and laugh? It really shows how social conditioning is. Like, it shows how social programming can be. That the people that you're surrounded by most of the time really influence how you behave. You know? Because then when you're trying to help the person, you feel like the odd one out. Like, you feel like, okay, maybe there's nothing wrong with this person being bullied. And that's what is happening to all of these kids that are standing there laughing at her being bullied. Anyway.
She carefully walks in and sees her reflection in the mirror, who is turning the other way. The reflection introduces herself as Aram and claims that she has always been with Maria, even since her birth. The reflection boasts about having the ability to take all of Maria's sadness away, but doesn't explain what her actual motive is. As they talk, Maria actually starts to like Aram. Since Aram knows all of her likes, fears, and dislikes, the two get along well. Maria doesn't seem to care about the fact that she is talking to a reflection. The next day, she is in a good mood. After school, she goes to her father's clinic where she happens to notice him being a little too friendly with a patient. Maria doesn't think much of it and goes to the movies with him for their father-daughter bonding time. As they are
Really, they go out together. What do they talk about? Because this man is like emotionally and verbally abusive. Like, what do they talk about? Oh, at least he's spending time with his daughter, but like, huh? Okay.
About to leave, she bumps into Mark, who acts nice to her in front of Dan. His friends burst into laughter right after, making Maria feel terrible. Dan notices that the kids are bullying his daughter, but doesn't say anything. On their way back home, he asks her to come to his clinic for an early birthday present tomorrow. At night, Maria talks to Aram, who doesn't approve of her trying to
So this dad can verbally and emotionally abuse his wife and child at home, but when he comes face to face with people that are bullying his child, he can't speak up. He doesn't say a word. Okay, dad of the year. Okay.
Improve her relationship with Dan. She laughs at Maria for thinking that Dan actually cares about her. Maria, on the other hand, believes that her father is going to give her a car tomorrow so she wouldn't have to take the bus with the bullies. However, her hopes are crushed when the next day, Dan reveals that her early birthday present is rhinoplasty. He believes that her nose is imperfect and wants to make it look more sophisticated. Maria is left disheartened.
Is that even legal? Isn't she a minor?
So she just agrees with whatever he says. On returning home, Aaron tells her that she always knew what kind of person Dan was. She knows that Maria is sad and makes her laugh, joking about Dan's affairs. Amy hears her daughter talk to herself in the bathroom and freaks out. She tells Dan about it, but he gives her a sleeping pill and asks her to rest. Before going to sleep, she tells him that she has again started to get the same nightmares. The following day, Lily and Maria come to an old clubhouse to practice ice skating for the upcoming on-ice winter prom. Lily is a pro at ice skating, while Maria can barely stand straight. While trying to move, she falls down and hurts her knees. However, Lily refuses to help her. She has noticed Maria eyeing her boyfriend and wants to teach her a lesson. When Aram sees her at home, she immediately tells her that Lily is a bad friend. Maria still wants to give her a chance, but Aram is strictly against it. She reminds Maria of everything bad that Lily has done.
I feel like if you notice this, like, instead of trying to teach your friend a lesson, have a conversation with your friend. Like, what happened to having a conversation with your friend? Why do you have to intentionally bring her to a skating park, watch her fall, and not help her? What if she broke her leg or fractured something? Like, what kind of a friend is that? I don't like her reflection, Aram, because I have a feeling that she's not a good person too. But I agree with Aram in telling Maria that her friend Lily is not a good person. You know what I just realized? I just realized that Aram is Maria spelled backwards. Like, what are we doing here? Because I was like, what kind of name is Aram? It sounds like some demon's name, you know? Which I suspect she is, because look at the plot. But Aram is Maria spelled backwards. So the good, let's say twin, because we saw two babies in the sonogram in the beginning. So let's say the good twin, the twin that is being bullied is called Maria, and the bad twin, the reflection, is called Aram. Like, what? So basically, it's placed on the plot. Like, she's looking at herself in the mirror, and you know when you look at yourself in the mirror, the images or the reflection is sort of transverse. I don't know if that's the word to use. And so it's like she's looking at herself, and she's Maria, and her name is spelled backwards, Aram. So it's basically a reflection of herself. I don't know if you guys get like the juxtaposition or whatever they're trying to do, like the play on the plot, but it's really smart. It's really smart. It's funny that I got it or I realized it, but yeah, let's continue.
To her since they were just kids. At last, she claims that she can take all her pain away if Maria switches places with her. They touch each other's hands and get closer to switch, but Amy interrupts them.
Girl, don't
The
do
next
this.
day,
Don't
Amy
do
does
it.
Maria's makeup and
Don't
dresses
do
her
it.
up for prom night. Maria is reluctant to go, but she does it for her mother. However, when she gets there, she already knows that it was a bad idea. While everyone is skating around, she can hardly stand up straight. Her day gets better when Sean comes to help
so
her and
the
asks her for a
prom
dance.
plot or theme
The
is
two
like
enjoy slow
escaping
dancing
thief.
together while a jealous Lily glares at them.
This girl is
All
not
of
her
a sudden,
friend.
Maria slips and falls down. Sean goes to help her up but is stopped by Lily, who pretends to not see Maria on the ground. The bully Mark holds his hand out to help her up, but instead drags her across the ice.
I was about to say, why is he being nice to her?
Everyone laughs and makes fun
But
of her
yeah,
misery
that was
while
the
Maria
plot
cries
twist.
for
He
him to
wasn't
stop.
being nice to her.
When he eventually does, she quickly gets up and runs back home. Maria has finally had enough of everyone treating her like crap. She cries to Aram, asking her to switch places and solve all her problems. Maria and the reflection join hands and lips together. Moments after the interaction, Maria enters the mirror while Aram takes her place in the real world. At night, Amy dreams of her giving birth to a baby, but something goes horribly wrong in the process. She has been having the same recurring dream ever since Maria was born. The next morning at breakfast, Amy notices the evident change in Maria's behavior. When usually
What if she gave birth to two babies, but her husband, being the perfectionist he is, did something? I don't know. This is weird. So that means technically she didn't give birth to two babies, or she did and something happened to her. Look, let's find out.
she barely touches her food, now she enjoys a bagel, complimenting the taste. Amy is delighted at the positive change and doesn't think much of it. Walking into the school, Maria is much more confident than usual. When Mark comments on the events of
even see it from
yesterday,
the way she walks.
seductively whispers into his ears, making him shut up. Sean witnesses this and asks her what she said to Mark. Taking the opportunity, Aram does the same to him, leaving him flustered. Lily brings up yesterday's incident and tries to pass it up as just a joke. Aram confidently asks her if she can continue teaching her how to skate. Lily is confused about her sudden confidence, but she agrees to meet her again at the clubhouse to practice.
You're in for a
After
treat,
school,
Lily.
Aram goes to meet Dan in his office. She appears to be delighted to see him and says that she missed him. It is almost as if she is meeting him after years. Aram knows that her father has had several affairs, but her mother is too scared to acknowledge the fact. Yet she is determined to make her face the truth of their superficial marriage. When no one is in the reception, she calls Dan's mistress and asks her to come to the clinic at 1. She also falsely tells her mother that she has a date with Dan at the same time. When Amy arrives at the office later, she meets the mistress in the elevator and finds out she is Dan's girlfriend. Later at night, Aram smugly asks Amy where her father is. Although knowing that he is with his mistress, Amy lies and says that he is working late. A frustrated Aram bluntly tells her to accept the fact that her husband is sleeping with other women. In a fit of rage, Amy slaps her but apologizes right after. Even after being slapped by her mother, Aram smiles, happy that her plan was successful. Maria, however, is not happy that Aram was rude to her mother. Aram argues that she is doing what Maria never had the guts to do. She asks her to maintain faith, but Maria...
In this case, I actually support what Aram is doing, putting everybody in their place and giving her mom something to fight about, because her mom is so dull. Like, why should you just be like a doormat your husband keeps just stepping on? Come on. Fight for yourself. Like, do something, you know? But this girl is dangerous. I can sense it. So let's see what she has planned for Lily and the bully and the other guy, because I can tell that this is not going to end well.
Has started to doubt if letting her out was a good decision. The next day after school, everyone is leaving when Aram lures Mark into the shower room. When he is not looking, she hits him with a hockey stick, making him fall to the ground in excruciating pain and teaching him a lesson to never mess with her again. Following that, she and Lily go to the clubhouse to practice skating yet again.
Lily, you're in for a treat.
This time, Aram is better at skating, much to Lily's annoyance, since she believed that she was better than Maria at everything. To Lily's utter surprise, Aram copies her like a professional. Suddenly, Aram aggressively skates towards her. Although they do not exchange words, Lily senses she is in trouble and runs away. While they are at it, she loses her balance and crashes into the pavement, losing her life because of the impact. Aram immediately calls the police and pretends to be crying. Maria is at a loss for words because of what Aram did to Lily. She cries, mourning her best friend.
Her best friend lost her life. Guys, let's discuss. Technically, did she kill her best friend? Like, I know that her actions caused her best friend to fall down, trip, and hit the pavement. That caused her death. But did she technically did she kill her best friend? She could have just said, "Oh, I was approaching her to talk to her about something." But the girl felt scared and started like running on the skate. I know it's messed up that I'm trying to make excuses, but regardless of how you treat people, nobody deserves like to die because of that, you know. So yeah, I guess. But I don't know why. I don't feel bad for Lily. I really don't. I feel like deep down, she always, you know, those people that befriend people because they always want to be the best. I don't know if you've experienced that, like when a beautiful girl tries to befriend like the girl that is not so beautiful according to societal standards, so that she always remains like the pretty friend. I don't know if you guys have experienced those sorts of things. Like, I've seen those things a lot in my life. I don't know. I feel like that's who Lily was. And deep down, she felt like better than Maria or Aram, whichever one it is, you know? Yeah.
Death, but Aram simply says that Lily deserved it. Maria demands to be let out of the mirror, but Aram refuses, saying she still has a lot to do. After Lily's memorial, Aram goes to Sean's house, pretending...
So wait, what is Maria doing behind the mirror? Like, during the day, what does she do? Does she just stand in the mirror? Couldn't they have shown us, like, what happens, what is happening in the mirror? Do you guys get what I'm saying? I don't know. They could have showed us what is happening behind the mirror, like how her life is behind the mirror. What exactly is she seeing? How is she living? How did Aram live for so long in that mirror? You know, how did Aram even start communicating with her? Who is Aram? Is she a human being or a spirit? Like, does she even exist? We don't know all this, you know? Let's see.
To be sad about her death. In reality, she wants to get closer to him like Maria had always dreamed of. She makes sexual advances at him, which he doesn't reciprocate at first.
His
But
girlfriend just
eventually,
died.
he gives in and the two make love.
Wow,
Aram
I
and
don't
Dan
think
go
Maria
out
will be
for dinner
happy.
for father-daughter bonding time. She orders a crab and eats it messily, much to Dan's annoyance. When he asks her to stop, she puts her foot on the chair, challenging him.
He's in for
Dan
a
harshly
treat.
tells her that she looks like a pathetic try-hard teenager, which
Yeah,
makes her
right.
behave properly again. Meanwhile, she starts to date Sean, and the two cut classes frequently. They return to her house, where Amy sees them and is unsettled by their
I don't think
relationship.
Maria will be happy with this.
Aram simply asks her to keep sleeping and takes Sean to her room, where they
All
make
these
love
days,
again.
I still don't understand.
When they drive to school the next day, Aram sees policemen entering the premises. She urges Sean to cut class again so she wouldn't be interrogated. They drive to a motel and start undressing. But just then, Sean gets a call from his mother telling him that the police want to talk to him and Maria about the death. He wants to leave as soon as possible, but Aram refuses to do so. She asks him why he still cares about Lily when she is dead. The question makes Sean believe that she had something to do with Lily's death. When he calls her out for it, Aram hits him with a bottle of alcohol and kills him. She and Maria cry together, sitting on the...
How is she there just killing people? Like, come on. Leave death out of it. Like, just teach them a lesson, at least. Why are you just killing people? And now both of them are crying. Maria is not angry at her. Like, they are crying. What?
Bathroom counter. A flashback shows us that Maria actually had a twin sister who was born with a deformed face. Dan, who was a perfectionist, didn't like the second girl, so he euthanized her against Amy's will. Aram is his second daughter, who is still hurt by the fact that she wasn't good enough for her father. Hours later, she gets drunk and goes to Dan's clinic.
I knew something
Dan
happened.
tries to calm her down, but is shocked when she gets completely naked in front of him. He orders her to get dressed quickly, but she doesn't oblige. She asks him if he would love her even if she was deformed. Dan tries avoiding the question, but upon being forced, he says that he would still love her anyway.
You're right.
To his utter surprise, Aram slits his throat with a scalpel. As he takes his last breath, she asks him why he couldn't just love her. While cleaning the scalpel, Aram looks for Maria in the mirror but doesn't find her. She returns home and crawls onto the bed next to Amy. In the last scene, both Maria and Aram are on the bed together with their mother, implying that the sisters have merged into one. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie.
I wasn't expecting that end. Wow, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I enjoyed the movie, Do I feel like there could have been more? Like, I feel like everything happened in such a rush. I don't know, There could have been a slow build-up, I don't know. And I feel like not everybody deserved to die. Like, maybe she could have just hurt the boyfriend, but not, like, kill him, Because technically now she's a murderer. And it is more suspicious if the day before your best friend died and then 2 days after, or some weeks after, your best friend's boyfriend is also dead, found in a hotel room or a motel, wherever they went to. Like, that's really weird. But yeah, I feel like this girl, I don't know her name, but this lead actress, Maria Aram, she really does well acting. It's like McKenna Grace yesterday, the lady we watched in the Bad Seed. They really do well acting this sort of creepy child sort of roles, and I love it. Yeah. Because I'm sure I've seen this lady in another movie where she was like an evil child, And who was expecting that end? I wasn't expecting that end. I actually thought, so basically Maria is the same person as Aram. So it's like Aram just came in the picture to bring out the dual part of Maria, like the bad part of Maria, the fighter in Maria, for lack of a better word, like the fighter in Maria, because she was too dull. She was just taking people's crap, And Aram, it was more like the fighter in her, I guess. But I wasn't expecting them to merge and become one. Like at the end, I actually thought it would end where Maria will be trying to fight with her to get released from the mirror, and Aram will permanently take her place. You get what I'm saying? With nobody ever noticing. But yeah, I guess that was a good plot twist, Guys, let me know, have you watched the full movie? Have you watched Look Away before? If you've watched it and perhaps you think that watching this recap, they may have missed out on some details that you think will help us appreciate the movie even more, please feel free to comment. Leave us a comment, leave us a paragraph explaining the movie and all of that. And yeah, what are your thoughts on them merging at the end? Do you understand that? Like, I have shared my theory. What is your theory of the two of them merging in the end? Let us know. But yeah, I feel like this girl is in trouble because 3 people you are connected to are dead. Your best friend, your best friend's boyfriend, and your dad. So I know the movie ends this way, but in real life, she would have been a suspect. So yeah, I guess. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around with me on this watch party of Look Away. If you enjoyed this watch party, please do like this video. And until our next watch party, don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.